Hey there, gamers, simmers, and pilots. I am the Killer Gamer. We are here with X-Plane 7, a classic version of X-Plane, kind of going back a little ways. We're going to be doing a flight in Australia, and I'll go ahead and show you where that is going to be. So here is Navigraph. We're down here in Melbourne, and we're going to be doing a flight going over here to Albury. So this is it right here. So not too far of a flight. Should be about an hour flight maybe. But as far as it's going to be a direct flight plan, but I was looking at VORs so I could see what I could use to connect up with. So we've got this one here for Melbourne, and then the other one for Albany. And basically, if I tune in to the VOR with a vector of 36 degrees, that is going to get us to the other VOR, but it's going to pretty much get us to the airport. So that was kind of the idea there. All right, so that VOR, because I don't think I'm going to be able to tune in the other one just yet. So the VOR that we want to be flying from is 114.1. So I will take care of that momentarily here. This was an interesting one. I had to put this on my Windows 7 laptop, and it's streaming from there. Or, well, it's not streaming from there. It's the video is being outputted from there over into the to my gaming laptop, because it wants to force open in a certain resolution, and it was making all kinds of messes with Windows 10 for some weird reason. So I did it over there and forcing it out over here. Alright, so try not to hit everything here. Okay, so we were saying, what was it, 114.1? Yeah, 114.1. Got to look very carefully here. Not exactly easy to see. I think it's this one. Well, that doesn't look right. That's the comms, that's why. Oh, okay, here it is, nav 1. It's really small, it's hard to see. I think we got it, but I can't really. There goes my control. That must be it. Okay, because it's got it tuned in and everything right there. All right, so we want to. Hey, Fat Bear. How you doing? Ready for some classic X-Plane? Had a little bit of trouble getting this thing, the stream going here. For some reason, my 5G Wi-Fi device was not playing nice with me. I don't know why. Had to use my phone. Let's see here. All right, so we want to leave at 36 degrees. Okay. So I'm going to want to turn this. That's the heading.
1716, turn left heading 130. 130 to 1760.
236. I wish I could zoom into this, but I can't. Oh, hold on here. I think it was close, actually. Somewhere around there will be right. And we'll get the heading bug, put it around the same spot. Okay.
Sierra Charlie, just confirm you have the Gulf Stream that you can proceed southeastbound, sir. 10 Charlie, has Gulf Stream.
This is a Spanish version of xplane. xplane 7. Because as far as xplane 7 was concerned, it was the only version I could find was Spanish. Okay, yeah, don't need that. What we want to do is this. We're going to file a flight plan. And we got YMLL. We're going to put in here YMAY. That is where we're going. Okay, we're going to take off from runway 7. That sounds about right. And then we're going to put in here, say, 5,000. Now we can go in here and we can file our flight plan. Oh, it's highlighted, but I got to move over here and get it.
Piper 13 Papa Charlie cleared this file, maintained at or below 2500, expect 5010 minutes after departure. Departure will be on 119.75 squawk 0407. Advise when ready to taxi.
0407. I can't read that. Oh, there. Oh, I had it. 0407. I think I've got it. Okay, so we want to request taxi to active. Isn't it interesting how this is Spanish? Now, in case you're wondering, yes, I have you need to have the DVD in order to have the world scenery. Otherwise, you're going to be in demo mode. So, yes, I do have a physical copy. That's why I have it sitting out, because I have to use the DVD for the scenery. So we're going to taxi to the active here.
Piper 13 Papa Charlie, taxi runway 27.
27? I asked for 7, not 27. Oh well. I'm doing okay. Actually, I had planned this stream several hours ago, and I was just too tired. Alright, so we're going to 27, huh? I think I've got everything set up here. Now this does have a feature for taxi lines. You have to go here in the graphics and then go, or options, and it's here. It is options, graphicus, and right here, this is lines on the taxiway. So just click on that there, and we should. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we don't have any lines on the taxiway. Well, that's a bummer. I was kind of thought we would. There's our. We're just on a taxiway. There's no buildings or anything, but we got taxiways and stuff, so that's at least something. But where is runway 27? I don't know. We'll take a look and we'll see where it's at. I think it could be this runway right here. Yes, it... It's a little carried away on the squealing. Yeah, this is 27. Alright, here's the end of it here. Alright, all good. Request takeoff.
Piper 13 Papa Charlie flight runway heading cleared for takeoff runway 27.
I have to look and see what year this came out, but man, Austin Meyer was like on top of this like way before Microsoft was.
Piper 13 Papa Charlie contact departure. Piper 13 Papa Charlie radar contact. Climb to 5,000 approved. Proceed on course to Albury. Piper 13 Papa Charlie, contact Center 128.05. Piper 13 Papa Charlie, Roger, proceed on course to Albury, altimeter 2992. Reset transponders, walk 57 for 4.
Alright, 5744. Hey, I'm turning. Why am I turning? I don't want to turn.
Night Nerd 1 Whiskey November, contact Center on 134.15. Echo Alpha, contact Center on 133.05. Seven Night Nerd 1 Whiskey, you have traffic at your 1 o'clock. Should be no factor. Five Quebec Delta Squawk 1200, good day.
Alright, we're on our way here.
Piper 13 Papa Charlie, your flight plan calls for 49.99 feet while en route. Sir, I will need you to climb and maintain that altitude. You may amend your plan if you want a different altitude.
Sir. So give me a chance. I haven't even gotten up there yet.
Night Nerd Tango Uniform, turn right heading 0 for 0 vectors around a Piper Archer at your 10 o'clock. Piper 13 Papa Charlie, turn right heading 050 vectors around a Piper Archer at your 10 o'clock.
I don't even know if they're talking to us.
Piper 13 Papa Charlie, proceed back on course to Albury.
Oh, I guess they were.
Piper 13 Papa Charlie, your flight plan calls for 49.99 feet while en route. Sir, I will need you to descend and maintain that altitude. You may amend your plan if you want a different altitude.
Alright, so we're gonna need to go down a little bit here.
Piper 13 Papa Charlie, your flight plan calls for 49.99 feet while en route. Sir, I will need you to descend and maintain that altitude. You may amend your plan if you want a different altitude.
It's interesting, but the autopilot for the altitude doesn't really hold your altitude. I mean, look at it, it's like going down. But I've noticed that if I put it over here on pitch, it tends to do a better job kind of holding on to it.
80 Bravo Juliet, turn left heading 360 vectors around the Beach Duke at your 1 o'clock.
Right about there.
Night Nurzawabla Hotel, turn right heading 050 vectors around a Glacier at your 11 o'clock. For 8 India, turn right heading 040 vectors around a beach starship at your 10 o'clock.
Pitch hold isn't doing a perfect job.
Piper 13 Papa Charlie, your flight plan calls for 49.99 feet while en route. Sir, I will need you to climb and maintain that altitude. You may amend your plan if you want a different altitude. Five Golf Bravo, turn right heading 040 vectors around a Glacier at your 10 o'clock. Nerd Orly reset transponder squawk 5454. Piper 13 Papa Charlie, your flight plan calls for 49.99 feet while en route. Sir, I will need you to climb and maintain that altitude. You may amend your plan if you want a different altitude. Piper 13 Papa Charlie, your flight plan calls for 49.99 feet while en route. Sir, I will need you to descend and maintain that altitude. You may amend your plan if you want a different altitude.
Having some problems trying to stay at my cruise. Keeps wanting to go up and down.
Piper 13 Papa Charlie, your flight plan calls for 49.99 feet while en route. Sir, I will need you to climb and maintain that altitude. You may amend your plan if you want a different altitude.
Yeah, there is an altitude hold, but it doesn't seem to want to do anything.
Piper 13 Papa Charlie, your flight plan calls for 49.99 feet while en route. Sir, I will need you to climb and maintain that altitude. You may amend your plan if you want a different altitude.
I'm trying to get this set up so I can go and look up the other VOR. We had it for a moment, and then it was being difficult.
Night Nurse 06 Uniform Contact Center on 129.30. One Golf Charlie, turn right heading 0 for 0 vectors around the beach Barren at your 10 o'clock.
Okay, I think I may have gotten it.
Piper 13 Papa Charlie, your flight plan calls for 49.99 feet while en route. Sir,
No, it's going
I will need you
higher.
to descend and maintain that altitude. You may amend your plan if you want a different altitude. Piper 13 Papa Charlie, your flight plan calls for 49.99 feet while en route. Sir, I will need you to descend and maintain that altitude.
115.6.
You may amend your plan if you want a different altitude. Piper 13 Papa Charlie, your flight plan calls for 49.99 feet.
Now we're going higher.
Sir, I will need you to descend and maintain that altitude. You may amend your plan if you want a different altitude. November, turn left heading 340 vectors around the beach Duke at your 12 o'clock. November, Bravo reset transponders walk for 607.
Okay, so I think I've got the right frequency tuned in for nav 1.
0 for Uniform Juliet Contact Center on 134.40. Night Nurse 6 Tango Charlie, turn right heading 050 vectors around the Pilatus PC-12 at your 11 o'clock. 578 with that reset transponder squawk 5605. Piper 13 Papa Charlie, your flight plan calls for 49.99 feet while en route. Sir, I will need you to climb and maintain that altitude. You may amend your plan if you want a different altitude.
I'll be right back with you.
Piper 13 Papa Charlie, your flight plan calls for 49.99 feet while en route. Sir, I will need you to climb and maintain that altitude. You may amend your plan if you want a different altitude. Piper 13 Papa Charlie, your flight plan calls for 49.99 feet while en route. Sir, I will need you to descend and maintain that altitude. You may amend your plan if you want a different altitude. Piper 13 Papa Charlie, your flight plan calls for 49.99 feet while en route. Sir, I will need you to descend and maintain that altitude. You may amend your plan if you want a different altitude.
Alright, back here with you. This thing just really does not want to stay at the altitude that I give it, does it?
Piper 13 Papa Charlie, your flight plan calls for 49.99
Below the HS
feet
what?
while en route. Sir, I will need you to descend and maintain that altitude.
Oh!
You may amend your plan if you want a different altitude.
That's what that is. Okay, hold on.
Piper 13 Papa Charlie, your flight plan calls for 49.99 feet while en route. Sir, I will need you to descend and maintain that altitude. You may amend your plan if you want a different altitude. Piper 13 Papa Charlie, your flight plan
Nice.
calls for 49.99
Thank you for
feet while
telling me
en
about that.
route. Sir, I will need you to descend and maintain that altitude. You may amend your plan if you want a different altitude. Piper 13 Papa Charlie, your flight plan calls for 49.99 feet while en route. Sir, I will need you to descend and maintain that altitude. You may amend your plan if you want a different altitude.
Whoa. What the heck? I have breakfast.
Nerd Whiskey Mike contact center on 131.05.
Okay, I think we're rocking now.
68 Golf Victor, you have traffic at your 2 o'clock. Should be no factor. Nightmare 5-1 Golf Squawk 1200 good day. For Juliet, turn right heading 070 vectors around a Cessna 152 at your 10 o'clock. Seven 6 Victor Foxtrot, you have traffic at your 11 o'clock. Should be no factor.
Should be no factor. All right. What is going on with
Nightmare 75 Echo reset transponders walk 2554.
4.1 on that one.
Hotel, turn left heading 020 vectors around a Piper Warrior at your 12 o'clock.
I guess we're not quite close there yet. But I have been watching the instruments. Over here is nav 2. That's the VOR that we left. So I'm trying to get on the 03. We kind of fell off of it. But yeah, so I'm trying to get back onto it. We're almost back to it.
20 for Quebec contact center on 134.85.
Now see, you can change your view
Papa Charlie, turn right
to where you can go
90 vectors around a Cessna 152 at your 11 o'clock.
I don't see anything out there. This is looking out the windows.
13 Papa Charlie, proceed back on course to Albury.
So you can press a button and then it will kind of like nose, bring your view down just a little bit so you can kind of see what's there.
Center on 118.05.
That'll come in handy for landings.
Uniform below, you have traffic at your 1 o'clock. Should be no factor. India, turn right heading 050 vectors around the Biagino Avanti at your 10 o'clock.
I just wish I could make this monitor a lot bigger. There it is. We're locked in at 5,000 feet now.
Right heading 050 vectors around the Beach Baron at your 10 o'clock. Bravo Echo Squawk 1200 good day. 09 nerd uniform, you have traffic at your 10 o'clock. Should be no factor.
Let's go back to outside view, because you can kind of zoom out here.
Nightmare 3 X-Ray Romeo, you have traffic at your 12 o'clock. Should be no factor.
So see, you can see where we're at there.
Zero 06 Alpha Uniform Contact Center on 133.80.
We can go over here to maps and take a look and see where we are here. Okay, so yeah, we are off course. So we're kind of heading out now. Okay, that's as far as it goes there. I wonder if that's it right there. Let's pull up Navigraph here again and let's find out. No, I don't think it is. Alright, so here's Navigraph. This is it up here. And no, I think we're getting, I think that might be it. It's gonna be up in that area. It's gonna be close. I don't know. No, that's not it. It's a little further up. Let's see. Aha. I think it's this up here, right in this area. I just thought it was kind of interesting that we haven't got a signal yet from that VOR. Of course, that depends on whether the VOR that Navigraph is giving me is the same in xplane.
Five 6 Kilo Hotel Contact Center on 124.25. For Quebec Foxtrot, turn right heading 060 vectors around a Cessna 172 at your 11 o'clock. To 6 Hotel Uniform, you have traffic at your 11 o'clock. Should be no factor. 773 Lima, turn left heading 340 vectors around a beach Duke at your 12 o'clock.
I might pull it up in that little
1200, good day.
GPS thing that's down there.
Hotel contact center on 129.25.
Should be AY.
Piper 13 Papa Charlie contact center on 129.55.
Huh, that thing does not want to work with me.
Piper 13 Papa Charlie, Roger, proceed on course to Albury, altimeter 2992. Reset transponder squawk 3655.
3655.
17 Echo uniform, turn left heading 360 vectors around the Pilatus PC-12 at your 1 o'clock. Seven Niner 7 Tango, turn left heading 360 vectors around the Piper Arrow at your 1 o'clock.
It's hard to read it.
Eight Foxtrot uniform, turn right heading 060 vectors around the beach Duke at your 11 o'clock.
I have to put my eyes right up on it in order to be able to see it. You know what? I have another idea.
67 Echo uniform, turn left heading 360 vectors around the Piper Archer at your 1 o'clock.
Let's see something here. Oh, this is much easier. I'm using my phone to zoom into it.
Seven 8 with F uniform, turn right heading 040 vectors around a Cessna 310 at your 10 o'clock. Niner Sierra Romeo, you have traffic at your 11 o'clock. Should be no factor.
Oh no, it changed everything. I was like...
055 Alpha, turn right heading 050 vectors around a Cessna 152 at your 10 o'clock.
It was working.
For 76 Delta, you have traffic at your 12 o'clock. Should be no factor. 5 Quebec Papa contact center on 118.20. Five for 3 Romeo turn left heading 350 vectors around a beach Duke at your 12 o'clock. To 0 Juliet Alpha reset transponders walk 5241. Zero uniform Delta reset transponders walk 2337.
I think I've got it on the little computer there. Is it saying that we passed it? No.
9 to Yankee Charlie
Yes.
turn right heading 0 for 0 vectors around a Piper Archer at your 10 o'clock.
Supposedly we passed it.
November Sierra turn right heading 0 for 0 vectors around the Glade.
Oh, no, no,
at
no.
your 10
We're supposed to be
o'clock.
going to Albury, not Avalon.
Piper 13 Papa Charlie turn right heading 0 for 5 vectors Albury. They are about 57 miles from your current position.
Okay, well that helps. So they're 57 miles away.
Challenge 125 from November 6 Balance 16.
Site 19. Bird strike. Okay, so what airport am I going to? We're going to Albury. We're apparently going in the right direction. Let's see here. Well, that just screwed everything up. Maybe I'll just do VORs. It's just the buttons are so close to each other that when you click one, you risk the chance of switching it all to something else.
Good afternoon.
Boom. Okay, I've got the VOR on the little GPS. We are 45 miles away, and it looks like we're...
Thank you very much.
heading in that direction. So we can tune into it on the little GPS there, but for some reason I can't seem to get it to pull up correctly on the regular nav radio. There we go, I got it. I had to put it to 115.59. Now we're cooking. And it's got our distance and everything too. "39 miles, which according to this will be about 13 minutes. All's well. Can I pick up ATIS? I don't know. Let's see. Why does it say file flight plan? Did it not file my flight plan?
All battery information. Zawaba. 1000 Zoala weather. Sky conditions 8000, scattered visibility 10. Temperature 13, viewpoint 0. Wind 030 at 7, altimeter 2992. Arriving and departing runway 07. Advise on initial contact you have Zoala.
Zualo. I guess I won't worry about the flight plan thing. I don't know if it canceled it or what happened. And yes, I do have the other versions of xplane as well, going all the way back to 5. And we'll go back and we'll revisit these. We're 25.2 miles away.
Everyone left. Headed speed 180, contact tower on 123.9. 23.9, we're slowing to 150.
You know, when changing the dials on the nav, how the needles, they move so smoothly, like how they should. I don't think we saw that working that well until like later in the Flight Simulator franchise. But X-Plane, man, they were like on top of it, you know, really early. In terms of simming, you know, as far as the scenery and stuff, yeah, that was more on Microsoft's part. But there's instructions in these old X-planes that says, hey, this is how you make an object, now go make stuff. So we got the world, we got the airports, we got the VORs, but you know, there's no buildings at the airports. You know, that's up to the community if they want to build anything. You know, as far as scenery at cities and stuff. Once again, that's up to the community to build. But this flew so much better back in the day compared to, you know, the old Microsoft ones. I think we're about 14 miles away. Okay, so if we take a look at the airport, we have a couple of options here. Alright, so this is the airport. So we've got a runway, what is that, a 7? And a runway 25. So probably runway 7 is where we're going to want to land over here.
Piper 13 Papa Charlie wind 030 at 7 variable 01020 for 0, cleared to land runway 07 Albury.
Okay, so we're cleared to land. Runway 7 does not have an ILS. so we won't be using that. I think I see it.
Thank you very much for the early trend answer. Appreciate it. Maintain that for 1000 till the flooding over here.
Caution.
We're coming in a little bit fast, but this even had moving traffic before FSX even came out. Now we can just find a taxiway.
Package 1262 with you passing 6500 for 3000. Package 1262 route.
Gotta love the air balloon up there.
Challenger 105 on November 6, Albury 6.
Huh, I think this airport does have a building. Oh, look at that. We'll go park by it. Some of them don't. They're just like, they're plain. They just don't have anything there. This one does. That's cool.
Delta 1716, turn left heading 130. 130 to 1716.
Do you see the cars moving out there in the background? See, there's a red one that's just now driving. Look at that. This came out long before FSX did, and it had cars. That's crazy. Well, okay, folks, we had our short little flight here with X-Plane 7 in Australia, giving you a look back at a really good simulator back in its early days. And I do have the versions 5 through 12, and we will be doing 12 soon. So, hope you enjoyed the flight. Thanks for joining me again. Thanks for being with me there, Fat Bear. Appreciate it. And everyone who watched later on.